Hello, welcome back to Rosalind's Kitchen. I apologize for how long it's been since I was here, but my aunt died, and so I had to go up to Wisconsin, and that meant a bus trip of 26 hours going up and then coming back. And that pretty much took care of the entirety of last weekend. So I'm still kind of recovering from it. I kind of feel like, bleh, you know. Monday, when I had to go back to work, I had noodles for brains, ramen noodles, basically, which you can survive on, but they aren't very tasty. Anyway, well, if you're a zombie, I guess. Anyway, tonight we're making one that I was looking forward to making, and I wish I'd had more energy today, but you know, hey, there it is. I am making flat iron steak with horseradish butter. Doesn't that look good? I'm hoping it is good. Anyway, so this one I don't think going to be able to grind up, so I'm going to have to try and tenderize it the best I can. Flat iron is usually one of the more tender meats, but we'll see what we can do. So I have a turnip. It kind of makes me think of that story, the enormous turnip that required everybody in the universe to pull it up. I have 2 potatoes. I have my flat iron steak. I have my butter. I have goat cheese. It's in the refrigerator right now so it doesn't melt. Horseradish and chives. So the first thing I am to do is to cut things up. So let's get busy cutting it up. So the first thing is to cut up the potatoes. Now it says to cut them in quarters and then to cut them in slices. So we're going to slice them, and about 1/2 inch slices. And this is going to be one of those times when I use a bag to kind of mix them with the olive oil and, in this case, garlic salt. I don't know how this one's going to turn out because, like I said, this is one I have not done, but it looks like it should be good, you know? So I'm excited. It has real potatoes, which Daddy should appreciate. Yeah, and anyway, I'll be back with them. Alright, so now put all of the potatoes in the bag. I don't know if I'm going to have another order of food coming next week, but because I have paused it, but what with the funeral, I kind of didn't get it paused in time, so I may be getting, you guys may be getting a couple more videos, I don't know. Anyway, they're all in the bag now. Alright, so now, it says cut the ends off the beets, off the beaten path, and cut into 1/4 inch dices. So I'm going to use my little dicing thing because that works the best. To start with, I cut the slices. And actually, it's not a turnip, it's a beet. Don't ask me why I said it was a turnip before. I think my brain still hasn't recovered from being, you know, zombified. There we go. It's 1, 2, 3. We'll be back. Alright, so there's the beet. Just beat it. Anyway, so now I'll put them in this bag. See, you're supposed to cook them separate of each other. Not quite sure why, but hey. That's a big beet. That's a lot more beet than I anticipated there'd be. All right. All right, the next thing is to mince the chives. Now the chives are a little bit, how should I put this? Weak, limp, because this was actually supposed to have been cooked last week. But since I wasn't here, it wasn't. Just putting it bluntly. So they're a little bit, wilted, but they'll do. And now we need to pat the steak dry. All right, so I'm going to try and grind this steak up for my dad. And so I'm putting in 1/4 of a teaspoon of the garlic salt that it's supposed to have. And we're going to try and grind it up in a bowl so that my dad can eat it well. There we go. We're going to see how this works. Whoops. And grind. Grinding. I should start a GoFundMe thing to get my dad some of those implant teeth. Then he could eat steak again. But I'm afraid that would not be considered important enough. All right, I need to massage my beets here and then put them on their pan. All right, and now with some of the garlic salt and a little pepper and olive oil, my potatoes. So, all right, so now I've put a little pepper and a little garlic salt on my steak. Now let's see where we are in the cooking of this. I've got my ground beef and my steak, and we are ready to make, I think, the horseradish butter. So here we go. All right, so I have my butter, have my horseradish. It says a little salt and a little pepper. And then mix it. Where did we go? There we go. Mix it thoroughly. The butter apparently had not softened enough. That's kind of the thing that you have to watch out for. And then it says to make it into 2 patties, which now the butter is soft. And then I'm going to refrigerate it so that the butter can actually be put on something other than like as a sauce. So there you go. Alright, so here's the hamburger. Let it just sit for a few seconds. And let's see, I need and now add my steak. So both of them get a chance to cook. And I'm going to be doing the 1-minute flip here. So I need to have at least 3 minutes on each side, so then I'll be back. Alright, so our potatoes. Let me give Daddy his potatoes, because I know he's going to prefer the potatoes to the beets. Alright, there we go. Here's potatoes. And then for me, I think we're going to have more beets than potatoes left over here, you know. There we go. Come here. A little bit more potato for him. Some more beets and potatoes for me. Yeah. Come here, potato. Good. All right. And now to cut my steak. I'll use this to hold it still. Get out here. That's pretty good. All right. And get my butter. Go. And there we go. And there you are. Now, it should look at least something like this. And it looks something like this. So we will see now what it tastes like. Alright, so tonight's meal was pretty good. Would have been very good, except that my oven apparently had a surge and it turned off a little early, so the beets didn't get as long as they should have had to cook. But otherwise, it came out really good, so I'm very happy with it. I think I'll see you tomorrow for a meal. I gotta check and see if I've made it before. But otherwise, peace out.